This also, of course, this AP report reporting more than 13,000 people have already been evacuated out of areas in the Houston area. So Houston has pretty much had its storm, it appears. Televangelist Joel Osteen has opened his Houston megachurch, a 16,000-seat arena, to evacuees. 17,000 people have sought refuge in Texas shelters here, there, and the next place from Rockport on up. Some of the big picture as we wake up on this Wednesday morning. And 150 school districts around Texas have canceled classes and will get a late start on the school year as a result of what we've seen out of Harvey, a name that will go down in infamy, as they say, because of the terrible flooding that has cost so much for Southeast Texans. We're sorry you're going through what you're going through right now. We're here for you when and if we can help. Texas Cares is an initiative that is underway. Hashtag Texas Cares is a way that you can see more information about the effort. That is a Tegna company effort to help the victims of Hurricane Harvey. This was done essentially in much the same way a year ago in March 2016 when so many folks are in the Deweyville area, to the north, in other parts of Jasper and Newton County.
Yeah, over towards Burkeville, Bottom Weir, a bunch of places.
Those folks went through so much. Tegna came together, raised money to help the victims, and although this is on a much wider scale, Tegna is back at it to try to help you victims. We have new video from the Bob Bowers Civic Center this morning, and does that not tell you something? Right there. These are the bleachers at the Bob Bowers Civic Center in Port Arthur. About 200 evacuees brought to this facility on the notion that it would be a safe haven away from the rising floodwaters. These folks, look at them, knee-deep, it appears, right here, inside this building, which to me, and a lot of you may feel the same way, feels like it's at a fairly high elevation for the rest of the surrounding area. And yet we're told some of our 12 News reporters, when they left this building,
waist deep,
walked in waist deep and maybe even more waters to get out of that facility and to drive away to relative safety.
It's crazy.
No words for it.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Really, literally, there's no words exactly. We're going to check our social media this morning. If you have questions, if you know of people who have yet to be rescued from their homes, contact us, please. Of course, literally, make no mistake, you want to contact the authorities first, 911. Get a hold of the authorities to tell them the address of people, by the way, that would be stranded. But if you're having difficulties, if there are still stranded folks, most notably, though, if you have questions about shelters, about curfews, about evacuations, contact us. We can get you to help in one way or another, and we're happy to do so if you'll contact us via social media. If we have our graphics for the shelters fairly close at hand, I think that would do our folks some good as they're waking up on this morning. Maybe they've been through a rough night, and the water rescues will begin momentarily, one would think. This is videotape, by the way, from the Bob Bowers Civic Center in Port Arthur. Look at the water lapping at the building. You'll see that water start to come under the doorway into the Bob Bowers Center. And in fairly short order, there was 3.5 to 4 feet, according to a source we spoke with on the air a couple of hours ago. Just a complete nightmare for some 200 evacuees who tried to get away from the flooding by going to the Bob Bowers Civic Center and then ending up in this kind of situation. City of Port Arthur sympathetic and working hard to get these folks to the Carl Parker Center. We do not have a late report as to whether that second evacuation, if you will, has been completed, but that's the plan.
and obviously over towards that area. We thought it would be a pretty safe area. Obviously, you wouldn't intentionally have a spot over there to remove everybody, but it's just a lot of heavy rain. Doesn't really matter where we are around Southeast Texas. Obviously, as a whole, a pretty low-lying area that just continue to add up in feet all around.
Yeah. Are we able to go to our graphics on shelters? Shelters all around Southeast Texas, in Beaumont in particular. The Beaumont Elks Lodge on Highway 90 is one of our shelters. That is just a mile to the west of Major Drive on Highway 90. The Beaumont Civic Center on Main Street downtown is one of our shelters. And the Salvation Army shelter has been opened with more than 100 cots there on the frontage road of I-10. In Orange, as we mentioned, the Orange Church of God. Boy, I hope, folks, I didn't misspeak a few minutes ago. You'll forgive me, hopefully, if I did. I think I said the First United Methodist Church of Orange. These are the Orange. We had a friend that had water in his home from Orange Field. These are the Orange shelters, okay? The Orange Church of God on 16th Street and the Community Christian Church on MLK Drive. That's what we know about Orange. In Jasper, the Nehemiah Family Life Center on Pollard Street. We've been talking about Port Arthur a lot. That Bob Bauer Civic Center, I guess officially is the shelter for the moment. That's going to be moved to the Carl Parker Center near the university in just a few minutes, we would hope. In Mauriceville, the Mauriceville First United Methodist Church. So that's what I was getting at earlier, speaking in error. In Woodville, the True Vine Baptist Church on County Road 113 is the place to go if you don't have a good place to go. In Wallaceville, we have several locations: the White Park Community Center, Eagle Heights Fellowship, the East Chambers ISD Dome is mentioned, along with Mercy Gate Church and the Old River Baptist. The Hampshire Fannett area, by the way, also with several churches. And there you have it. That appears to be the ad. So maybe I wasn't so wrong after all. The First United Methodist Church of Vidor, also a shelter. And if you're stuck and stranded in a home, if you are in a position where you have a family and you need to get folks to safer, more sanitary surroundings, please avail yourself of these shelters because that's what they're there for. These are typically a lot of kind people just trying to help out, just trying to help out. Where is Harvey? The question coming into us this morning. Harvey is well up into Louisiana at this hour. And this surprising, Josh reporting, had a microburst in Deweyville about 15 minutes ago. Thought my roof was coming off. Right? Still storms whipping through Southeast Texas. We are, and thank you very much, Dee, for those kind words. We're hearing, there was a question here. Vidor, winds are horrible right now. I guess we still have some,
windy conditions.
That's the thing, is the distinction between heavy rainfall or just rainfall and then a storm. And it sounds like we've got some real storms in places other than Beaumont.